All right, welcome to the Pipeline Prosperity Hangout right here today. And here's what I want to do. I'm really excited. First of all, if you're excited about winning your freedom, I want you to type yes below. Just go ahead and type yes below if you're excited about winning your freedom. I don't care if you're on the team or you're just a guest or someone that's here just for the very first time. Type yes below if you're excited to win your freedom. Because tonight, that's what it's about. That's what it's about. We actually have a special guest trainer here tonight that's going to be teaching you, how he went from struggling, living in a single wide trailer house to earning over $400,000 in his business, becoming debt free, had months of over $20,000 and days of over $7,000. And if that can get you excited, type yes below again. And I just got to say right off the bat, we can't guarantee you of any income, obviously, and we'll have, results are not typical, but they are possible. And as an alliance, as a Pipeline Prosperity Alliance team member and, visionary, we see are possibilities, and that's what we see in you as well. So stay tuned, be paying close attention, take good notes, because the story you're about to hear can literally help you transform your life. It can help you win your freedom, and you don't want to miss any of it. So with that being said, I get to introduce my dear friend named Paul Hutchings. Go ahead and take it away, my friend.
Hey, how you doing, Mike?
Oh, I'm doing awesome.
And good evening, everyone. I want to welcome you to the Hangout tonight. If you're excited to be here, like Mike said, go ahead and comment down below. I want to, first off, just say how much I love Mike Hobbs and love working with him. We've been working together with each other and also with a group of powerful people, of which, are inviting to this Hangout tonight. We send invites, our team members send invites, and we've been working together in this alliance now for, I think about 6 months or so. And it's just an honor to work with amazing people who love freedom, who have won their freedom, and have a heart for freedom. And, I can say the same thing about you. The fact that you're on this Hangout tonight, I believe means something very special about you. It means that you believe that freedom is possible. And like Mike said, on our team, all we see are possibilities. And so my intention tonight, as I have written on my shirt, we show this every time we do a Hangout. It says Freedom 100, just in case you're new or this is your first exposure to our team. We are the Pipeline Prosperity Alliance, and we are a group of entrepreneurs. We're a group of moms, dads. We're a group of average concerned citizens who believe that we can change the world. Cynthia Kersey, I think she said, never doubt that a group of thoughtful, concerned citizens can change the world. Indeed, that's the only thing that ever has. And isn't it true when you think back all throughout history, United States history, world history, big shifts that have come throughout the world, freedom movements that have been brought into the world, when you trace it back to their beginnings, they all started with a group of thoughtful, concerned citizens. And that's what we are on this Hangout tonight. That's what Mike and I are. That's what the Pipeline Prosperity Alliance is. And that's who you are, I believe, because you're here. So I want to just kind of encourage you to pay attention, because over the next 45 minutes or so, I'm going to be doing the best that I can to just dump my heart out on this Hangout. I'm going to be doing the best that I can to teach you what I know about winning freedom from home. Just in case, you probably saw the stuff in the email and you heard the introduction from Mike. Since I brought my home business on the internet back in 2010, I've been blessed to earn about $485,000 in my current company. And prior to that, I was in a nutritional network marketing company where I earned about $150,000. So in the last 5 years, I've earned right around $650,000 in commissions, built some big teams in network marketing. So I believe that I have some good stuff to teach you. Now, because we might be talking about income tonight, I've got to throw out a disclaimer there. The only guarantee that we can give ourselves is the one that we give ourselves. The government likes us to say no guarantee of income, results not typical. See average earnings disclaimer down at the bottom of this page. So I throw that out there with the caveat that I believe that we as people, we can guarantee our results. In other words, I can't guarantee results for you because I'm not you. I can't control your thoughts. I can't control your actions. But what I do believe deep down to my core is that you can control your results. And that if you set a goal in your mind to be free, if you set an income goal to go out there and achieve with the right information and with the right people in your circle and with the right tools and resources, I believe you can guarantee that you will hit that number. I believe you can guarantee you will hit that lifestyle, but you and I are the only ones that can guarantee that for ourselves. So in any case, who am I? My name, and by the way, I was like, I was thinking about this hangout tonight, and I was thinking about the things that I was going to share, and I was excited because anytime that we get on a hangout or anytime we get on a conference call or anytime we get in a group gathering, I think it's a special thing. And the reason I think it's a special thing is because it's in group situations where ideas are shared that can cause breakthroughs and transformations. And it's almost like when you get around someone who has achieved some good results in life, it's almost like there's a door being presented in front of your path, and you have the opportunity, to either keep going straight ahead or maybe off to your left, there's a door. You have the opportunity to open up that door and look and see what's inside. And behind that door might be a magnificent future that maybe you never even imagined. Behind that door might be more health, wealth, happiness, prosperity, abundance, great relationships. And I believe that this hangout tonight could be a door to your better future, like it was for me 5 years ago when I first got introduced to some of the information that I'm going to be sharing with you. You see, I had been struggling in network marketing for about 5 years. I remember getting involved in network marketing back in 2005. And I was working a job at the time. I was working a corporate job because I did what everyone told me to do, which was go to school, get good grades, graduate, and get a job with a good company. All growing up when I was a kid, like I would go to class in elementary school and all my teachers said, Paul, if you want to be successful, you got to go to college. You got to study hard. And so long story short, I did. I went to school. I got a business degree down in Arizona. I went to a school called DeVry University and graduated with a bachelor's degree in business administration. And I actually graduated with a pretty good, scholarly record. I studied hard. I did well on my tests, and I came out thinking that I was going to conquer the world. And what happened was I got out of school and I couldn't find a job. And I was like, what am I going to do? So I came back to Idaho, where I'm from, and I started looking for all these different jobs. And the best I could do was I found a company that was willing to pay me $11.09 an hour to work in a call center. So I was like, man, I've got this college degree. I just went over $40,000 in debt. I was like, $11 an hour? Really? Like, this is the best I can do? But I, tried to make the best of it. So I was like, well, this is what my options are. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to do the best that I can to make the best of the situation. So I started working this job and very quickly realized that I did not want to work in a cubicle the rest of my life. I don't know if you have ever, been in a job that you didn't like, and comment down below if you've had experiences where, you were in this job and yeah, it was paying some of the bills. Yeah, you had a check coming in, every couple of weeks, but something deep inside of you said, there's something more for me in life. Something deep inside of you said, I'm meant for more. I'm meant to have more contribution. I'm meant to have more fulfillment. I'm meant to have more money. I'm meant to have more time, right? And so these were some of the feelings that I was having. And at the same time I was having these feelings, I was having experience in this corporate job, experiences where, like, I remember a boss one time. He, my immediate supervisor, his name was Travis. He says, Paul, this weekend we need you to fly down to Arizona. And we need you to do this meeting for the company. And it just so happened that weekend was my first year wedding anniversary. So I said, well, man, it's my first year wedding anniversary. Is it okay, boss, if I check with my wife? I'm newly married. My beautiful wife, Kareen, we've been married for 10 years now. And he said, yeah, go ahead. So I talked to my wife. I said, honey, Boss wants me to fly down to Phoenix. Should I do it? She said, yeah, you probably should. You know, it's the company. That's our paycheck. So I said, okay, honey, thanks for understanding. And I flew down to Arizona, did this meeting. At the end of the day, you know, worked from morning to night, got done with the meeting. It was like 9:30 at night. I'm hungry. I go to this steakhouse and I'm sitting down at this table with this steak dinner in front of me, a glass of water, my cell phone sitting there on the table. And I look down at my cell phone and I pick it up and I dial my wife, Corrine, and I say, honey, hey, yeah, I miss you too, honey. Just wanted to call and say happy anniversary. And there over a steak dinner by myself, I celebrated my first year wedding anniversary with my wife via cell phone. And I remember that experience thinking like, you know, man, like, am I really supposed to miss the most important times of my life with my wife? And then what's going to happen when I have children? Am I supposed to miss like my kids' birthdays and, you know, miss all these important events because the boss wants me to fly down to Phoenix? And I remember being a little bit frustrated with that. And then about 6 months later, I'm in my company review and the boss comes and he's like, okay, we got to give you this review, Paul. So I'm sitting in the office with the boss. He says, Paul, you're doing great here. You're doing great here. You're doing great here. But he said, Paul, we're a little concerned about your loyalty. And I said, what do you mean you're concerned about my loyalty? Here I am showing up at work early every day, working through lunches, staying late so that I can sacrifice for the company to hopefully get noticed. And he said, yeah, Paul, your loyalty. He said, remember about 6 months ago when we asked you to fly down to Phoenix and do that company meeting? And I said, yeah. And he said, well, you hesitated. There was like hesitation in your voice when we asked you to do that. And I said, are you kidding me? It was my anniversary. I just wanted to check with my wife. She said it was okay. I went and did the meeting. I sacrificed for the company. Nevertheless, I'm hearing this review and you're questioning my loyalty to the company? No, not for me. I've got to find a way out of this situation. You know, I've been reading a book by W. Clement Stone, who's a billionaire. A great book. It's called The Success System That Never Fails. And one of the things that W. Clement Stone talks about is he says that we all have to have inspiration to action in order to do great things in life. And the interesting thing about what he said is he said sometimes we have what's called inspirational dissatisfaction, where something is happening in our lives and we're dissatisfied with it. Something is happening in our lives and we realize that we've got to make a change. We've got to do something different to go forth and get better results. And as I think back on that experience of me working in that job, it definitely was inspirational dissatisfaction. So if there are some things happening in your life right now that you're not 100% satisfied with, maybe you're a little dissatisfied. Maybe you've got a job that's keeping you away from your kids. Maybe you've got a job that's not allowing you to do the things that you want to do. Maybe you've got a business that you've been struggling in for quite some time and you're ready to break through. Realize that that's a good thing. If you have inspirational dissatisfaction, that's a good thing because it can be a powerful motivator to go out there and get results. And so what happened for me was I had this inspirational dissatisfaction and I said, I'm going to do something different. So I started looking for different things that I could do outside of the corporate world. And that's when I got introduced to network marketing. One of my best friends actually said, Paul, I got to show you something. He said, what are you doing Wednesday night? I said, well, you know, probably working all day, then going home, maybe watching a little TV. He says, nope. He says, you got to come to this meeting. So he invited me to this meeting. And I remember going to this meeting in a little, it was this like abandoned warehouse in my hometown of Blackfoot, Idaho. And they had these metal chairs. And I remember sitting in the room in the front row with my wife. And my wife was pregnant at the time with our very first son. And she's sitting next to me on these metal chairs. And we're looking up and there's this guy in the front of the room with this whiteboard. And he's like drawing circles on the board. And he's like, look, he's like, if you get 5 and they get 5 and they get 5 and they get 5 and I'm like, you know, just taking it all in. And then he's like, in 6 months, you can be making $40,000 a month. and you don't have to have a job, and you can live your dream, and you could be free. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, where have you been all my life? You know, it's like, where's the application? Sign me up. So I got this application, and I signed my name and put my credit card info, and I said, here, I'm in. I'm making a new decision. I'm getting started right now. I want to have a better life, right? Well, long story short, I joined this company, and a year later, I have made $0. $0 a year later. And this is like, I've made lists. I've called friends and family. I've driven to events. I've gone door to door. My best friend, he's an immigrant from Africa, from Burundi. His name's Arnold. He's a great guy. His parents are diplomats, and they sent him over to America to, go for the American dream. And I said, Arnold, dude, none of our friends and family are liking what we're sharing. We got to do something different. I said, I got this great idea. Let's go door to door. So my friend Arnold and I remember, we got these flyers printed off, and we drive to this neighborhood here in my hometown of Blackfoot, Idaho, and we're going door to door, knock, 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 trying to talk to people about our business. I remember one guy yelled at us and, humiliated us, but anyway, long story short, I was doing everything that I could to find success in my business. And after 1 year in that business, I had made $0. I'd made $0. Well, I decided, maybe I should just hop to another company. And by the way, as you continue to watch this presentation, I'm going to share with you, as we mentioned in the email, the 4 big breakthroughs that took me from struggling, living in a single-wide trailer house, bouncing around from company to company to company. After 5 years in network marketing, the biggest success that I had after 5 years was a $1,000 check that then dwindled down to $200 a month. After 5 years, what were the things that took me from that situation to then earning over $650,000 the next 4 or 5 years, winning my freedom, earning enough money that I could pay off the mortgage on my house, that I could live in Idaho with a lifestyle of freedom? What were the 4 big ideas? I'm going to be sharing those with you in this presentation. So please be looking for those, because they're not what you might think. They're simple. They're not mysterious. I call them secrets. Interesting thing about secrets, guys, is it seems like the reason that secrets are secrets in many cases is because they hide in plain sight. And they're pretty obvious if you know what to look for. And these secrets that I'm going to share with you tonight absolutely fall into that category. So in any case, a year of failure in network marketing, jumped around from company to company to company for the next 4 years. And then finally, back in 2009, I'm frustrated, and I'm like, what can I do? And I decided to actually make a new decision and quit my job. And I talked to my wife, and I was like, honey, we've been doing this network marketing thing for 5 years now. It's just not working. Maybe we should do something different. We're living in this trailer. Our bills are low. We have some savings. Honey, would you support me if I just decided to go for it? If I just decided to lock arms with this group of people that are running and just run with them? I think if I did that, maybe I could, have success. And she said, honey, I believe in you. I support you, my good wife. Oh, if you guys ever get to meet my wife, thank her. Give her a hug and say, hey, thanks for being a support, because we all need people to support us in life, don't we? We all need people to support us in our dreams. We need people to support us in the great things that we're doing and are going to continue to do. So I'm always grateful for my wife, and I always like talking about her, because it's a reminder that no matter what we're doing or what we have done, there are always people in the background that supported us and lifted us and helped us along the way. So maybe we can remember to just be grateful for those people in our lives. But in any case, she said, yeah, go ahead and quit your job, Paul. So I quit my job. Then over the next 6 months, I was making $1,000 a month at the time in my network marketing business. And over the next 6 months, my income actually went down to a point where it was like $200 a month. Not what you would expect to happen going from part-time to full-time in the business, right? I'm like, man, Paul, you're really messing this up, right? Go from part-time to full-time and my income goes down. Well, again, remember what I said about W. Clement Stone, inspirational dissatisfaction. I remember one night I was tucking my kids, my two oldest boys. I've got four boys: Caden, Camden, Kyson, and Cashton. And Caden and Camden were about 4 and 2 at the time. And I remember we were in the back room of this 1984 single wide trailer house. Kareen had gone to bed, and I was back there reading the kids their bedtime stories as they drifted off to sleep. And I'll never forget this moment, because it was my big breakthrough idea number one that got me on the path to finally beginning to have success in my home-based business. And basically what happened was my kids had fallen asleep. I'd read them their stories, and I was hurting inside because I'd been failing for so long, and I wanted success so bad. I wanted freedom so bad. And it felt like I was doing everything that I could possibly think to do, and nothing was working. I mean, it was working a little bit, right? I'd sponsored a few people, made a little bit of money, but we weren't free. And if things didn't change, I was going to have to get a job again. And I remember talking to my wife, Karina. I'm like, honey, maybe this home business stuff just, maybe it's not for me. Maybe I should just go get a job. And I remember having those conversations with my wife during this time. And she said, no, we can do this, Paul. We can do this, and you can figure this out. So I was looking at my two kids, and I just, like I said, I was hurting inside, and I didn't know what else to do. And I knew that something had to change. I had to make a new decision. I had to do something different. And so I knelt down by the side of their beds, and I said a prayer. And by the way, guys, part of the reason that I wanted to tell my story tonight on a hangout versus like slides. I tried putting slides together, and I do have some slides, but I wanted this to be authentic. I wanted to be able to look into your eyes. I wanted you to hopefully feel my heart. I wanted you to kind of like feel that the things that I'm sharing with you tonight are true. And I'm hoping that as you feel my authenticity, and as you feel my heart, and as you feel Mike's love and my love and our team's love for you, you'll get the sense that what we're talking about here tonight is real, and that it can work for you too. One of the things that sometimes drives me crazy about marketing is, like all these like fake personas that people tend to put on, with the branding and the marketing and all the different stuff. And sometimes you lose the authenticity and the heart in that stuff. And so one thing that we strive to do on our team is we strive to keep it real. and we strive to encourage each other to keep it real, because when we're real and when we speak from the heart, do you guys realize that people tend to feel that? They feel that, and they know that we have people's best interests at heart when they can feel that we're speaking from the heart. And the other thing that being yourself does is it sort of like gives other people permission on an unconscious level that it's okay to be their selves too. Because there's a lot of people, one of the things that I love about my home business journey is it has taught me how to be who I really am. I mean, I'm still learning and growing and working on this stuff, but I think society a lot of times tries to tell us that you have to be this, you have to be that. You have to have a degree. You have to have a suit. You have to have a tie. You have to speak a certain way. You have to come from the right background or parents. You have to go to the right school. Like Art Williams talks about this stuff a lot. You know what Art Williams says about that? He says, bull. He says, you don't have to have any of that. All you got to do to win in business is you got to have heart, and you got to just be willing to do it. So in any case, I hope that you feel that the messages we're sharing with you tonight, and anytime you come around our team, the Pipeline Prosperity Alliance, I hope you feel that we're real people, and our intention really is to make a difference. So anyway, back to the story. So I'm in this single wide trailer house. I drop down to my knees. I pray to God for help. I literally prayed to God to help me find a way out of my situation. I got tears coming down my face. I'm looking at my kids. I don't know if you can remember a time in your life where it's almost like you threw a Hail Mary, like in football where, you're behind and the other team's winning and you're back towards their end zone and they're about ready to stomp a touchdown over you. And like your last ditch effort is to just say, hut, drop back into the end zone. And then you got one wide receiver, lone wide receiver running clear out there into the field. And you just launch that baby and hope and pray that he catches it, right? So this is sort of what it was like when I knelt down and I prayed. I was like, God, please help me find a way out of my situation. Long story short, or can I still say that? Or are we like going on long story now? Because we're like 27 minutes in. I'm just kidding. And by the way, if you have questions tonight, post them in the chat box down below. And Mike and I are going to be watching those. And we're going to save a little bit of time at the end of this to answer any questions you might have. So anyway, I prayed to God to help me find a way out of my situation. And I got this strange impression that I should begin studying a book, an interesting book, a book that I had been told to read 5 years prior in my first network marketing company. Except this time, when I offered this prayer, the impression was I needed to read it in a different way than I had done before. See, what I had done before, and what a lot of people do, is they'll read a book and they'll say, wow, that's a great book. And then they'll throw it to the shelf and then grab another one. And then they'll read it. Oh, it's a great book. And they'll throw it to the shelf and grab another one. And they never apply what they learn in the book. And I had this impression that I needed to digest the book, mark up the pages, fold down the corners, do what this book told me to do. And this book, just in case you don't know, is a book called Think and Grow Rich. You may have heard about it. It's a guy by the name of Dr. Napoleon Hill. Well, I started studying this book in this new way, and a couple of things started happening. One of the things that Dr. Napoleon Hill tells you to do in that book is to have a definite major purpose. And basically what that is where it's just where you set a goal to do whatever, right? And in this case, I needed money. So my goal was by such and such date, I would have in my possession $3,000 monthly residual income, which is all I needed at the time, just $3,000 a month, because we were living in a trailer, our bills were low, and $3,000 a month would have broken me out of my job. But he says, don't just set the goal. And he gives you this formula to where every morning and every night you can repeat this affirmation, this declaration, this prayer. You can call it a prayer, because I was kind of like praying a little bit, and then I would state my vision, and then I'd pray alongside stating my vision. And you do it morning and night, morning and night. And I started doing this. And I was like, by the last day of December 2010, I will have in my possession $3,000 monthly residual income, which will come to me in various amounts from time to time during the interim. And what happened to me was my first big breakthrough. The first of 4 that I'm going to be sharing with you tonight over the course of this presentation. What happened to me was I went from a state of hoping that I would make money, hoping that I could win my freedom, crossing my fingers and praying that this might work for me. I went from that state to a state of faith, to a state of rock solid belief, to a state of absolute certainty that money was already in existence, and all I had to do was perform the service necessary to bring those dollars that were already out there in the marketplace, right? If you think about it, there's no lack of money. If you think about all the money in the world, it's all out there in other people's bank accounts, right? So all we have to do is we have to perform the service necessary to bring those dollars into our bank account. So I basically got faith. I got faith. And Jim Rohn, talking about faith, he says, you can't say that faith doesn't exist just because you can't see it. He said that would be like saying radiation doesn't exist just because you can't see radiation. He says you can't say that. Radiation exists because it has an effect. And the same with faith. Faith exists because it has an effect. And so everything changed for me when I started to believe in myself, and I started to believe that my dreams were possible. And I started to have this faith that not only were they possible, they were probable and maybe even downright certain. And I like to share this formula that kind of explains this breakthrough. This breakthrough came in the form of like faith, like I said, but basically what had happened was I started to develop the mindset of an entrepreneur. I started to develop the mindset. What is mindset? It's like Jim Rohn says, it's your philosophy. It's the way you think about things. It's the way you think about yourself. It's the way you think about the world around you. It's the way you think about your business. And mindset affects everything. It affects the words that come out of your mouth. It affects the actions that you take in your business. It affects how people perceive you when they hear you speak, or when they get an email from you, or when they, get a phone call from you, or when they're just chatting with you in conversation. When you have a strong mindset, people feel that, and it's like a magnet. People are attracted to that, right? So mindset was the first big breakthrough, and there's actually a couple of the breakthroughs that I'm going to share with you, but I'm going to share with you sort of the end of the story real quick. I started applying what I was learning in this book, believing in myself, and applying these 3 other breakthroughs, and within a very short amount of time, that $3,000 monthly goal that had eluded me for the previous 5 years was in my bank account. As a matter of fact, I remember the exact day logging into my back office and seeing it was $3,000 minus a $2 check processing fee. So it threw me a little bit, because it was like, oh man, I was like $2 off. And then I got looking at it, and it was like, no, I hit the $3,000. They just took a check processing fee. And I was like, man, this stuff works. I can't believe it. But then the 3 turned into 7,200, turned into 10,000, turned into 15,000 in a month, and then went as high as 25,000 in a month. And now I'm blessed to say that just in my current business, I've earned over $480,000 just in the last few years, applying some of the things that I'm going to share with you tonight, right? Number 1, mindset. We got to work on ourselves. We got to have a vision. We got to know where we're going. You know how many people there are out there in the world who wake up in the morning and they don't know why they woke up? Just to go to a job that maybe they don't like, to collect a check, to pay a mortgage, to have just a little teeny tiny bit of money left over at the end of every month. And they're just like, Earl Nightingale says, if you were to stop 100 people on the street and say, why are you going to work today? He said only 3 of them would be able to tell you why they're going to work today. And that's called definite purpose. It's simply knowing what you want and making a decision that you're going to go for it. And if you get nothing out of this hangout for the rest of the time that we're here, for the next few minutes, please get this. I've got this belief inside me down to my core. We can have what we want as long as we're willing to ask. Like, what does the Bible say? Ask and you shall receive. Knock and it shall be opened unto you, right? All the great philosophers all throughout the history of the world, they've all talked about this great fundamental truth. Know what you want, plant the seed in your mind, and then make a decision that you're going to nourish it and nourish it and nourish it so that it has time to grow into that tree that's going to give you the fruits that you want, right? That's secret number 1. Know what it is that you want. And don't let anybody tell you that you can't have it. Don't let anybody tell you that you're not good enough. Don't let anybody tell you that, oh, well, that's only for so-and-so or such and such because, they're just gifted, or they just came from the right background, or they just went to the right school, or they just got a college degree, or whatever. Don't let people tell you that. Know what you want. This is your life. This is my life. Isn't it? Can we get that? I'm not living someone else's life. I'm living my life. And so at the end of the day, or at the end of my life, I should say, and at the end of your life, we're going to have to answer to ourselves. We're going to have to say at the end of our lives on our deathbed, we're going to have to say, did I live a life to please other people? Did I live a life that was dictated by what everyone else said and thought that I could do or could not do? Or did I live a life going for my dreams? One of my good friends, Super Duper Stan, that I hang out with and mastermind with from time to time, he has a quote. He says, I would rather die with the integrity of having fought for my dreams than live with the disgrace of looking in the mirror at a quitter. And isn't that a great thought to ponder? Like, what would you rather have towards the end of your life? Would you rather be able to say, I made a decision that I wanted something great for myself and my family, and I went for it, and I fought for it every single day, and I just poured it all out, and I left it on the field? Or do we want to look back and say, gosh, I heard that guy Paul one time speak, and he talked about how he paid off his mortgage when he was 34 years old, and I thought, man, that would be cool, but I don't think I can do it. And so then I just decided to go back and settle for what everyone else was telling me that I deserved, instead of making a decision to just go for what I wanted in life. I want to encourage you, go for what you want in life. It really is success principle number one. So that's mindset. The other thing that happened to me when I was cultivating my mindset is as I ran into a video. I ran into a video on the internet because I got on the internet and I was like, how do I do things differently so that I can have better results? Because what I've been doing the last 5 years not seem to be working for me very well. And so I found this video where this guy was teaching me some things that I hadn't heard before. He was teaching me that I could do things in a different way. He said, Paul, he said, it's not a situation where you just have to talk to people that you know. There's this thing called marketing. So this business that we build here within our team, and if you're in a home-based business, the same is true for you as well. There's a couple of different ways you can build it. Way number one is you can connect with people, make a friend, right? Find out what's going on in their lives. And then when you hear a need, in other words, when you hear someone say, man, I wish I could have more money, or man, I wish I could pay off my debt, or yeah, man, I don't really like my job. You hear that need, then you can ask a question which offers them a solution. You could say, hey, Mary, if I could show you a potential way where you might be able to pay off your debt, if I could show you a way that you could do that in a shorter amount of time, would you be open to going to a hangout or watching a video, right? That's way number one to build a business. And it works. It's worked for many, many years. And that's the way that I was building my business for the first 5 years. Although I had a couple other challenges that were kind of preventing me from seeing big success with that. And I'm going to talk about those in just a moment. But that is definitely a way to build a business. Connect, build a relationship, ask questions, and then provide solutions. Way number two, which was part of my big breakthrough, was what we call marketing. What is marketing? Marketing is selling the things that people really want to the people who really want them. So rather than just trying to sell things to people who had no interest in making money, going for their dreams, paying off their debt, but just like telling them like, hey, you really need to do this. This is so cool. It's way better than what you're doing, right? Instead of doing that, marketing says, hey, look, there are millions of people out there in the world right now who wake up in the morning and they're hungry for your products. They wake up in the morning and they're hungry for your business. A hungry crowd. Marketing says, find the hungry crowd and then give them the solution, give them the food that they're starving for. That's what marketing is. So I ran into this idea called marketing, which basically said you could target people who were hungry to make money from home. So I started targeting them in a different way, and I was using the internet. And I want to share with you just a formula that really changed my life forever. And the formula is traffic, which just means people, targeted people, hungry people, right? Traffic to a web page, a lead capture page, to a sales message, to money, to freedom. That's the formula. Targeted people to a lead capture page, to a sales message, out pops money, out pops freedom. I wrote that formula down in the single wide trailer house when I was sitting on the floor of this little teeny tiny office. I wrote it out on a whiteboard and I thought, this is the formula that can help me be free. So with what we do here on our team, we teach people mindset and we teach people how to find hungry buyers for whatever it is that they're selling. And you actually click on the link. I think it says Freedom 100 over to the left. We have a desire to teach this stuff. And so when you click on the link, you can actually fill out a form and get started with our team. And we will not only equip you with the tools necessary to generate traffic, to get leads, to get sales, we'll teach you how to find hungry buyers, hungry crowds, so that the marketing process, the sales process is more effortless. So here's how it worked for me. I was in network marketing, and so I got taught a great target market is other network marketers, because they're obviously in the business. They want to make money. They have purchased a network marketing company or products. And so I started targeting these people with a simple traffic generation strategy. Is actually using a blog at the time. I was using a blog. And what happened was I started getting leads, and I would connect with these people, and they would be like, yeah, man, I want to be free. Like, I want to make $3,000 a month. I want to make $5,000 a month. And I was like, it's cool. Like, this is a totally different type of person I was talking to before, right? Before it was like, yeah, maybe, yeah, no, maybe, no. Yeah, I'll show up to the presentation. And then these guys I was talking to was like, yeah, I want to do it. What can I do? So I would show them the tools that we had, and they would make a decision to just go ahead and get started. And those two things really were how I started sponsoring a lot of people and started hitting some good commissions. In fact, that's how I hit my first $3,000 a month. My first $3,000 monthly goal was from those two things, and those two things alone, marketing and mindset. But there were a couple other big breakthroughs that came to me that I want to share with you, so that hopefully you can take what I've learned in my journey and you can apply it in your journey, so that you can get to your freedom faster, so that you can get to your freedom with more ease. Isn't that? Because that's the goal, right? That's the goal is, we get on these hangouts and, we do conference calls, and sometimes we step into leadership. And that's really, I believe, the job of a leader is to share lessons so that people coming behind can have stumbling blocks moved out of their way so they can get to their freedom faster. So what were number 3 and number 4? Big idea, big breakthrough. So I'm applying mindset. I'm believing in myself. I'm taking action in my business every day, right? I'm targeting the right people. I'm targeting hungry buyers. People are joining, right? Now, a couple of things happen along this process. Thing number 1 is I started to realize that partnering up with the right people was really an important thing to do. And I know you might be thinking like, well, duh, right? Like partnering up with the right people. But see, nobody teaches classes on network marketing. What happens in network marketing is your buddy calls you, says, hey, you want to get rich? And you're like, yeah, I'd love to. So you go to a presentation. It looks good. You're excited. You're like, yeah, let's get rich. So here's my credit card. And then you get started, right? That's how it works. You don't ever stop to think about like, well, who's this guy or gal running the company? And do they have integrity? Do they have heart? Do they love people? Do they have the right intentions, right? Like, do they really want to help people win? Or do they just want to sell a bunch of stuff and make a bunch of money? All of that stuff really matters. And I sort of found out the hard way, because when I first started succeeding online, what ended up happening in one business is I hit my $3,000 monthly goal. And then I remember I was driving to an event. I was flying out of Salt Lake City, and I was driving along the freeway. And the company's like, hey, guys, we got this big announcement. And I was so excited to get on and hear this big announcement. And prior to that phone call, I had hit a qualification. They called it like executive vice president or something, where basically we were promised that we were going to have triple the residual payout for life when we hit this qualification. It just barely happened. So I'm driving. I get on this conference call. President of the company's like, all right, guys, got some things to announce. He says, thing number 1, you know that thing where we said we were going to give you triple payout if you busted your behind, worked overtime, sold your stuff, stocked up on product, which all these things we did because we wanted to qualify. He says, yeah, we're not going to be able to do that. But in any case, we hope to see you on the next conference call. We're excited. And then he hung up the phone. And in one phone call, he stole 2/3 of my income. And I was like, oh, you're kidding. I get to this $3,000 a month and then this happens. And I was like, man, maybe it's important that I partner up with the right people. I started to think about this. So then I start looking for other companies to join. And then my buddy, guy by the name of Doc Fran, calls me one time, and he's like, Paul, I got something really cool. You need to look at it. You need to, pull out your credit card and get started because this thing's gonna be hot. And I was like, no, Doc, I'm focused. I don't want to do anything else. He's like, no, Paul, you need to do this. And he kept hounding me. And finally, one time I was over at my mom and dad's. It was wintertime. My phone rings in my back pocket. I pull out. It's like, oh, it's Doc Fran. So I was like, oh, all right. So I walk outside. He's like, Paul, if you don't join now, you're going to miss out on having like 300 people below you by the end of tonight. And I was like, okay. So for whatever reason, I pulled out my credit card. I decided to just, get started. And long story short, in that company, my first check was $17. My next check was 56. My next check was 300. My next check was 1,700. My next check was $2,300. And then I remember logging in my back office, still living in the single wide trailer house, getting ready to check commissions. And I remember like pulling it up, and it was like, I was like, what? It said $7,240. And I picked up the phone and I called Doc Fran. I said, Doc, there's got to be a mistake. And he's like, what are you talking about? And I said, the commissions are all screwed up. It says I made over $7,000. And he's like, hold on, I'm out driving in my Mercedes by the beach. Let me get home. And I said, well, can you hurry? He says, yeah, I'll hurry. So he gets home, and he gets home. He calls me, or I call him again. Actually, I was like, is it right? Is it right? Is it right? He's like, Paul, it is right. You earned over $7,000 in residual commissions. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. I was like, how is that possible? And the reason I'm sharing this story is because it's breakthrough idea number 3 that allowed me to win my freedom infinitely faster than I would have won it had I not known this principle. And this principle is called the law of the measuring cup. And what this principle says is that, and I know this is going to be like another like no-brainer, right? But here's the principle. If you can get more higher commissions per customer on your team, that is better than getting lower commissions per customer on your team, right? Pretty obvious. I call it the law of the measuring cup because it's like if you're going to bake a cake and the recipe says we need 2 cups of flour, and you've got a choice to dip out. You've got a 1 cup measuring cup. You can take that 2 cups and be done with it, or you can take a teaspoon and you can be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and you can dip the commissions out with a teaspoon, which is what I had been doing the previous 5 years. And it's why in my local market, with my first company that we started seeing success with, we built a team of 600 people. Believe it or not, I was living in a trailer house, and we were not using the internet. We were just, calling our friends and family and doing meetings. We built a team of 600 people, and guess what my check was? $1,000 a month for a team of 600 people. Why? Because we were earning like $1.50 per customer on that team. So in this thing that Doc Fran enrolled me in, I had over $7,000 in income, and my team was literally like 80 people or something. And I was like, how is this possible? Well, it was because I was earning on a $60 product. They had this revenue share where you could get into a certain point of the company where you were earning literally like $50, $60 residual on a $60 product. So your commissions added up really, really quickly. So the law of the measuring cup is really important. And whatever it is that you're building, it's important that you're earning big commissions, both residually, and then also if you can sell something that has higher upfront commissions, that's going to allow you to step into your freedom even faster. Because this thing that we actually market on our team, we market a blogging platform. And the reason we market a blogging platform is because if you're going to be doing business on the internet, if you're going to be tapping into a hungry market, you need a blog for a lot of reasons. It's really important to be able to, use a blog for follow-up, because not everyone's going to join when they come through your little traffic, leads, sales video, money, freedom formula. Some will, and some will just kind of like stay on your list. And so you need a blog so that you can follow up. Every day you send messages out to your list so that people can get to know, like, and trust you over time. You do that through a blog. So blog is really important. Another reason blog's really important is for tapping into a hungry market. It's one of the best, most effective, long-lasting ways to find targeted hungry buyers who are ready to buy whatever it is that you're marketing. And so we market a blog, and over on the left, you can actually click the link and join for like $17.50. It pays 100% commissions on the front end, and that gets you inside our system where you can see some of the other products and services that we market. But what I just want to give you like a quick example. On our blogging platform, that pays a $17.50 residual on every commission that comes to you. We have another product called the Inner Circle. It's $100 a month. That pays a $70 residual commission on every customer that comes to you. So between the two, it's possible to earn $87.50 residual for one customer on your team. So if your goal is $3,000 a month, just go ahead and divide $3,000 by $1.50 and see how many people you need on your team. A lot. versus 3,000 divided by 8,750, a lot less, right? And then if you have one-time products that people can buy, like on our team, we market 3 incredible products. We market a product called the Top Producer Formula, which is it's basically put together by who I believe is the world's greatest living salesperson, network marketer. He's personally sponsored over 10,000 people himself. He's built a downline of well over 100,000 people. I'm probably shorting that quite a bit. I think it's actually way more than 100,000. But he was the number 8 income earner in the world of home business. And he put together a product called the Top Producer Formula that teaches exactly how he has been able to produce, sponsor, recruit in numbers that make people's head spins, right? We market that. It's a $500 product, and it pays a $350 commission. We have another product called a Team Builder Formula. It's a $1,000 product. It pays a $700 commission. Then we have another high-end product. It's called the Mass Influence Formula that teaches people, and it's sort of like a progression, right? Like if you're going to build a business from home, you need to learn A, how to produce, B, how to build teams, C, how to communicate in ways that influence large numbers of people to make decisions, to unify and move forward into your vision, right? And that's a skill set that one of our products teaches, the Mass Influence Formula. But long story short, not only can you earn 8,750 residual commissions when you click the link, fill out the form, and get started right now, you can also benefit from the people who say, you know what, 8,750 residuals are cool, but you know what, I want to make some big money like this week, like in the next 2 weeks, I want to make some big money. And so we have the ability to empower people to, while they're earning 8,750 residual commissions, which add up pretty fast, they can also earn up to $3,000 commissions when people see those other products and they make a decision to buy. Now, you don't have to buy those. You can get started tonight and just kind of see what we've got. It's 100% money back guarantee. Peek behind the curtain. I actually had one guy, his name's Jesse, connected with him a few days ago, and he's like, yeah, Paul, I want to see what's behind the curtain. So he made a decision to join, $1,750. And I said, okay, what I want you to do now, Jesse, is I want you to go through these educational videos. This first set is going to teach you about our products, so you know all about them before you make a decision to, go all in and say, this is what I'm going to do. And then we have another set of 8 videos, actually 9 videos, that are put together by my mentor, who was the number 1 8 income earner in the world. 8 videos, pure value, that teach you what we do to be able to sell these products that we have. So anyway, Jesse went through these, and he just sent me a message yesterday, and it basically said, Paul, I just got done with the videos. I'm in, man. I'm so excited about this. I can't even hardly stand it. So you might come to the point that Jesse did after you fill out the form for $17. And once you see behind the curtain what we've really got, you might be excited out of your mind like I am and say, this is where I want to build my freedom money. But you don't have to do that, right? You can buy some of the products. You can just buy the blog, and we can teach you how to market whatever it is you're marketing with the blog. Now, the other big thing that you get with our team goes back to breakthrough number 4. Now, I want to recap because I've talked about 4 breakthroughs tonight, right? Breakthrough number 1, mindset. Got to be reading. Got to be listening to audios every day. Got to be thinking about what it is that you really want. Got to be stating what it is that you want. We can help you do that. Okay, that's mindset. Marketing number 2, which is what our products teach you how to do. They teach you how to drive traffic. They teach you how to sponsor, recruit, team build. Just like I said. So you got mindset, marketing, the law of the measuring cup. You got to be earning big commissions. And here's the thing. If you're in another business right now and you love what you're doing, because I have another team member, Josh, who's in another company. In fact, he just made 3 sales in his other company this week. Congratulations, Josh. If you're watching this, I'm super proud of you, super excited for you. So Josh is working his traditional networking business, and he's also learning how to market through Empower Network and through our team, because he realizes that as he learns how to generate traffic, as he learns how to connect with hungry buyers, as he learns how to connect with an ever-expanding group of people who want what he has, that will only enhance what he's doing in his traditional business, both from a marketing standpoint and from a commission standpoint. Because here's the other thing to realize. As we target people who are in other businesses, right? Some of them will want to just lock arms and go to work, and some of them will be focused on what they're doing. And that's great. I love that. When people are focused, I love it because it is a law of success. Law number 11, law of success, written by Dr. Napoleon Hill. The guy actually wrote the book on success, right? It's called The Laws of Success. Number 11 is concentration. So we do need to focus. But check this out. As we connect with people who are focused on their business, and we're like, I admire you for that. Hey, if I could show you a way to get more eyeballs on what it is that you're currently doing and have more success in that, would you be open to, taking a look at something? Well, of course they would. And then you can generate a commission while helping them stay focused and do what it is that they love and get better at it. Do you see how not everyone we connect with is going to want to just jump on board and run full steam ahead? Because, people are doing their own things and that's great. But the smart person, I believe, the smart person realizes that as everyone's running to California for the gold rush, we can run with them. Sure, we can do that. And we could set up a shop along the way that's selling tools, information, lead generation, things that are helping them on their way to California. So that's a little bit more of, what we do here in our team. So the last point that I wanted to share, and then I'm going to bring out a couple of good friends and we'll let you go because I don't want to keep you here all night. And I thank you so much for being here and staying present. I do hope that so far you've received some value. And if you have, please let me know in the comments down below. We want you to be free, right? We have this vision to free 100 families a year. And if you do it somewhere else with some of the information we've given you, awesome, right? We'll applaud you. Let us know. We'll recognize you because we want you to be free. That's our bottom line. We just happen to think that if you trust us and make a decision to join us for the 1750 trial, which is 100% money back guarantee, we have a firm belief that we can help you be free faster. And that comes from 10 years of my experience in the home business profession. Mike Hobbs has been in 10 years. We've got Rob and Kimberly you're going to hear from in just a moment. They've been in many years, been with many different companies, and we all believe that we can help you be free faster if you'll just trust us. But the last thing I wanted to share, breakthrough number 4, as I mentioned, all throughout my journey, and I only shared one disappointing story where the company CEO took something from me that he had promised. I've actually got, unfortunately or fortunately, depending upon how you choose to look at it, I've got a lot of those stories. And so I finally realized that if I am going to build something big and I'm going to help all the people that I want to help and we're going to free 100 families a year, I finally realized that it was important that I partnered up with people that I knew were committed and that I knew had people's best interests at heart. And a lot of times people ask me, they're like, Paul, why are you and Mike and the other leaders in the Pipeline Prosperity Alliance, why are you partnered up with Empower Network and David Wood, who's, my mentor and our mentor, and why are you building this freedom movement there? It's for all the reasons that I mentioned up to this point, and it's for reason number 4, which is people. People is what I believe to be the most important thing in business. And so if you're going to do something big, you guys, I don't know if you guys realize this or not, but not everyone's intentions in the marketplace are the same. Some people have a desire to just sell people stuff and just, do product launches and sell, different training all the time. And, and I'm not saying that's bad or wrong. It just is what it is. That is an intention. Sometimes people have the intention to sell people stuff. Well, our mentor and Mike and myself and our team, we have an intention. I'll tell you our intention. It's to help people be free. It's to help people learn what they need to learn so that they can win their freedom. And when that's a person's true intentions, they make decisions from a different standpoint. In fact, I was talking to Mike about this just like last week. We were talking about how every decision we make as leaders needs to be evaluated from a standpoint of, is this going to help people in their freedom, or is it going to hurt people and distract people in their freedom? And I just share that with you because, again, people is the most important thing, I believe, after being in this business for 10 years and being disappointed time after time after time again. I finally found somebody, David Wood and Empower Network, and these people that you're going to hear on the Hangout tonight. I finally found people that are committed to their vision, who won't quit no matter what, who will be there to support you, who will be there to support the people who make a decision to get started, who will stand up and show up to events and speak on Hangouts and speak on conference calls and transform and believe for as long as it takes. And it's my belief that if you're going to be in business and do something great, those are the type of people that you want to be partnered up with. So I hope you feel right now that those are some of the people that you have access to on this Hangout. And when you click the button that says Freedom 100, you can get in the inside circle on a little bit deeper level. And again, our goal is to help you be free. So I'd encourage you to make a decision. I want to bring out real quick a couple of my good friends. Hey, Rob, can you unmute your little line there? I think if you hover over...
I not only can, but I will.
How you doing, man?
I'm awesome, man. I love you so much. Oh, my gosh.
I love you, too.
What a gift. What a gift you are to this world, Paul. Man.
Thank you, Rob.
I just, what an incredible... And I see my awesome friend Joel there. So... Man, you're a hard act to follow, brother. What do you want me to talk about?
Let me give you a proper introduction, Rob. Guys, Rob, this is my good friend Rob Skinner. He is an amazing guy. He's been master distributor of several network marketing companies. He's generated monthly checks in excess of $1 million. He's built huge teams. Okay, not a guarantee of income. See average earnings disclaimer. But this is the caliber of his background, and he has got a heart for people like no other. So I wanted to bring Rob out. And Rob, you know, why here? Why are you excited? Why should people make a decision to get started with us?
Well, first of all, they need to make a decision somehow, somewhere, something. You know, I don't know if you can see this, but I love to do this to you when you put me on a Hangout. That's my backdrop today. Can you see that? That's it's kind of a reflection, but that's Daytona Beach. I haven't slept in my own bed but maybe 3 nights in 2 months. And, you know, Kimberly and I had a lot of dreams. And we've had some epic successes and even more epic failures that we were able to learn from. You know, we lost a fortune in the car business here not too long ago, and we had to reinvent ourselves, and I basically had to put up my money where my mouth is. We were coaching in network marketing for so long that, you know, we had to go out and actually earn a living at it instead of just telling people how to do it. And the one thing that irritates me maybe more than anything is the old saying where those that do, or those that can do, and those that can't coach. And this industry is rife with that, where people that can't build a team, all of a sudden they're trying to sell you traffic and leads and try to tell you what to do and charge you $5,000 a month for their coaching, and they've never made that much in their whole life, you know, in this industry, and it irritates me. And you know, I went to Nashville 3 events ago to support you and my wife, with no intentions of doing anything except for taking a relaxing weekend in Nashville, a nice drive up the coast of Florida. And you trapped me. You introduced me to David Wood. And I have an ego as big as a barn. I admit it. It's not always a good thing, but it allows me to get through the nose. And I've never met anybody that I felt like I couldn't beat on the leaderboard of anything. Or I just don't participate. If I'm not good at it, like the dunk competition, you'll never see me doing that, because I can't beat anybody at it. I can't even touch the rim, let alone dunk a basketball. But I can sell, and I can share. And Kimberly had told me that she had this vision, and of course I'd been following you for a while quietly in your classes and Think and Grow Rich and doing my own thing. And when I met David Wood, I looked into his eyes, I looked into his heart, and I felt him. I felt an individual that was on a mission, on a rocket ship, on something that I couldn't be without. It was like crack to me, you know. I mean, I became an instant addict of everything that was Dave Wood. And prior to that, I had a terrible, terrible disposition towards him and the company because of perceptions. I thought, you know, they didn't like guys like me. They didn't like business people. They didn't like traditional people. I mean, quite frankly, I like wearing a suit every once in a while, you know. And here this hippie was, long-haired, you know, every once in a while drops the F-bomb and barefooted on stage, and just kind of weird, you know. This isn't traditional business. This can't work. Nobody can make any money at this. And then I find out this guy's done $180 million in sales, sponsored 10,000 people, made everything I've ever done pale in comparison. He made it was pathetic. I realized what an insignificant thing I'd ever done. And I felt like Kimberly, who I've always been able to trust her heart, had really struck gold between you and him. And then, of course, I met Mike Hobbs at another event and came together, and all of a sudden it's like God just lined things up. And now we get to share other people's somebody else did all the work, and all I have to do is share a message. And why should other people do this? Well, you know, there's no doubt in my mind that this company owns the space it's in. I mean, just owns it. There's not even a close second in this company. Their heart's in the right place. They're not going anywhere. You know, when you got 90-some% of companies that are going to fail within the next 2 years, and 98% of the participants are going to still continue to fail, hopefully forward, but mostly not, why would you not team up with somebody that's just an all-star? And that's what this cast is. It's an all-star cast. And it's the most amazing group of human beings I've ever met, collectively in one place. And I don't know if any of us are the greatest, but collectively we're the greatest accumulation of people that are willing to absolutely crawl through glass for you, on behalf of you, regardless of the income they attain with you. I mean, I'm looking at Joel. Joel and I have nothing to do with each other's income, but I know he would do anything he could for me and me for him. And we have. And that continues to happen over and over and over again in this group. And, you know, we've had days where we've generated, you talked about, you know, the measuring cup and big commissions. We've had days where we've generated over $6,000 commissions that have gone to us and our team. $6,000 from the work that Kimberly and I did. We don't do that alone. We did that with somebody else creating a product that was worthy of it.
Rob Skinner and me.
I mean, that stuff's amazing. You know, Mike Hobbs, does this guy ever stop giving? Well, he just gave the world another kid. Congratulations, Mike. I mean, I don't know, Paul. I don't know what to say other than it's about love, man. It's about loving what you do, loving the people you're with. And we see you, Joel. You're waving like a crazy person. I don't know, Paul. I love this company. I'll die with this company.
Oh, that's how I feel, Rob. Thank you. Love you, man. Great stuff. And hey, guys, if you are a guest and you haven't made the decision to join and you've got a question, post it in the comments down below, and we'll do the best we can to give you an answer. Because part of the purpose behind this hangout is we wanted to deliver a message that would empower you and introduce what we're doing and our vision to free 100 families a year. And B, we kind of want to interact with you. So again, if you have questions, let us know down below. So Rob, love you so much, man. Let's save your beautiful wife for after Joel, because you know, save the best for last. No offense, Joel. Hey, Joel, can you unmute I had to mute you because we were getting some feedback, but if you unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
I hear you, brother. How you doing?
Okay, I'm doing good. Sorry about that. I had a kid, a wife, and a dad come down all within 10 seconds, and I was like, go away. I'm working here. I'm working, right?
That's right. Well, hey, guys, Joel's a dad. He's fighting for his freedom. He's generating great commissions. He's, doing great things in the world, and totally committed. Joel, tell us, why you're excited about, this team and Power, and why someone watching now might want to make a decision to get started with us.
Well, I'm excited, for the team, because you guys are awesome. Rob, Kimberly, you, Mike, Kevin and Kim, I mean, your wives, by the way, they've done quite a job with your families, I'm sure, but the whole team atmosphere is great. That's what drew me in, because I have a family. I know some of you had heard this already, but I spent the last 15 years on and off basically working for the government, doing fisheries biology. I'm a big fish guy. Rob knows that. He's become a pretty close friend of mine in our little family here. And the only drawback to that was I was away from home a lot, an awful lot. And I had a new baby about a year and a half ago, well, my wife did, and that kind of missing out on, 2 weeks out of every month of not being able to spend time with her, and her just not, I felt like she didn't recognize me. Maybe she did, but I also have an 8-year-old, and I'd miss out on her for 2 weeks, and that started eating into my whole deal. And I knew that it was possible to make an income online. Like I'd heard this, heard that. I'd little pitch my, threw my line out there every once in a while just to see what was happening. But this came to a breaking point for me, when I knew I didn't want to be away for another minute, not another minute. And I think it's been 8, maybe 9 months now when I started, and yeah, it's it's a little bit trying at first, but when you have the support from your family, when you have the support from the team, like a team like this, as special as this, I really wouldn't know from other companies or anything, because this is, thank goodness, my first go at anything. So apparently I'm one of the luckiest guys when it comes to that, because I instantly got you guys. So I'm thankful for that. But when you said, Paul, when you said inspirational dissatisfaction, like, I didn't even know that that's what I was feeling for like 10 years. Like, there was something there, but I didn't realize that's what it was until you just said that, and I was like, okay, now I get it. Like, it's that little thing inside you, no matter what you're doing, if you're not happy with where you're at, or there's just this, you're gone from your family too much, or you don't have enough time with them, or you don't have enough money even, where you just feel like you have to be away so you can work, so you can earn your paycheck, so you can do your thing. Like, I'm here to tell you guys, it does not have to be that way. And I know there's this stigma thing out there about network marketing and stuff like this, but we're breaking that stigma. I mean, we're blowing this up. Like, every one of us is just blowing it up. Like, forget about that. I don't care if you're watching this right now and you don't join, you are missing the boat. I mean, you're missing the boat. That's all there is to it. I mean, they say, and I've heard this 1,000 times, the only people that don't succeed in this business are who? The ones that don't join, or the ones who quit. That's it. So, A, join, and B, don't quit, and you'll be fine. Might take a minute, but so what? What's your freedom worth? What's your family worth? Mine's worth everything, and I'm willing to do anything, and I'm doing it, and that's why I'm here with all these wonderful people.
Joel, you are such an inspiration, man. I love you so much. You're going huge places, man. Thank you for being who you are. Let Joel know you love him down in the comments below, because I know we all do. Joel, we appreciate you, man. Kimberly Skinner, let's bring you out real quick. Can you unmute your line, Kimberly?
Right there.
Okay. So I don't even know how to introduce you other than to say, like,
All these wonderful people.
this is like, first of all, like, we call her the boss lady because she's just like becoming boss over and over and over, which is like a little rank. Like, you sponsor 5 people, you become a boss. She's sponsoring tons of people. I've known her for years now. Has it been years? I think it's been like a year or two. And I just love Kimberly. She's got a great heart. She loves people, and she's doing great things, and she's here for the right reason. So, Kimberly, what do you got to say, sister? This is like, first of all, like, we call her the boss lady.
You guys, I'm having technical difficulties because I am not a techie person, and I'm gonna press through here because it seems like I get to come out on these hangouts and then I have a technical glitch and I have this powerful message welling up inside me that I want to get out to my internet land family out there, because I am so moved by what has transpired in my life in the last few months as a result of my decision to move forward with Empower Network, and my husband's decision to sort of lock arms with me in a new way. You know, it's new for both of us, really. We both have some experience and some background in sales, but certainly in a much more traditional way that you think of, where the person you're communicating with is right there in your presence, and there's a whole set of disciplines that go along with that we had to learn an entirely new way to do everything in order to translate that level of success into the online space. And we are continuing to learn those disciplines because that's a skill set in and of itself. But the good news is that with what the Pipeline Prosperity Alliance has put together for us, it bridges the gap between what we already know how to do and what we know is possible using these skill sets of marketing. So we get to make money in the meantime while we're learning how to do it well, how to do it excellently, how to do it right, how to do it with automation, how to do it in a way that is like in the modern age, you know, bringing our marketing game into the 21st century. Hello, how awesome is that? And so the funniest thing happened just before between when Rob was on this hangout and when I came out on this hangout. You know, he comes over and he shows me the phone. You may have seen me looking over here like, what? There's a commission notification in here. Who is this person? I've never heard of this person. I don't know who this person is. And so we're still getting used to the idea that people are seeing the content that we're putting out there. They're deciding to join us in our business, getting out their credit card, taking action, coming on board, and then we get to meet them. That is like a miracle in our world. I just think it's the coolest thing ever, right? So we're still using the skill set we already have developed, and we are talking to actual people, and we are communicating to them that, hey, this might be a solution for, you know, some of the things you've expressed to me you're dealing with or whatever, and that's okay. We get to make money doing it that way. We get to have our marketing work, and people come join our team who we've never met before, and everything in the middle. That is a beautiful system. I love it. I feel like every morning I wake up and I feel so grateful and energized and enthusiastic to start the day, because I know that what we bring to the marketplace has actual value for real people who are on their knees praying for solutions for their family. I know that the stakes are high, that what we do matters, that there are real families counting on us to get the message out there in a way they can accept and understand and act upon it, so they can get the results they're after, so they get to get free and live as they're inspired, just like I have. To me, it's like one big eternal round where we get to have the ability to contribute something valuable and powerful for others. And so that's why I do what I do in terms of trying to bring people together and get this message out in a more and more effective ways. Why I polish my skills and work on new things and overcome learning curves and obstacles and that sort of thing. But I appreciate you very much, Paul. I want to tell you how grateful I am that you have done the preparation you have, because you know, every person's unique message resonates with a different subset of the marketplace. You know, you had a message that resonated very specifically with me that actually empowered me to know that my message is valuable to someone else who maybe wouldn't relate as well to you, wouldn't relate as well to any of the other leaders on the team. And that is true for every person watching this hangout. Your contribution matters. If you're seeing my face and hearing my voice, I want you to know that your contribution is needed in the marketplace. People who are really not in the place to provide value to the marketplace, they're not on this hangout. If you're on here for a reason, because your contribution is needed and your voice is needed. And so I'm excited to see who you are. I'm excited to welcome you into the group. I'm excited to see what you create with this opportunity for your own family and for the people that you are designed to touch.
Kimberly, you are so powerful. I appreciate you so much, and you know what you said is so on point. Like, you know, what our mentor Dave says, it is more powerful to be unified than it is to be right. And like I mentioned earlier in the hangout, we have a vision to free 100 families a year. There is no way that I can do it by myself. There is no way that Kimberly can do it by herself. There's no way that Joel can do it by himself. What we have to do is we have to reach out our hand to you and say, help us. The world needs your story. The world needs your breakthrough. The world needs your story of, you know, going from wherever you're at to wherever you're going to be, so that you can inspire the people that can't be touched by my message or Kimberly's message. So I just love that, Kimberly. And I wanted to share two final thoughts, and then I want to let everyone go. And thank you guys so much for being here tonight. I did want to shout out to some of our team members. Mike and Christy Hobbs have earned over $716,000 with our team. Kim and Kevin Sousa over $210,000 with our team. Justin and Dee Varengia $1.4 million over that with our team. Travis Holder over $150,000. Robert Brown over $60,000. Franco Gonzalez over $250,000. Adam Whiting over $312,000. Ben Zumanja and Matt Connor over $93,000. John Penberthy over $500,000. Joshua Elder over $100,000. Guys, these are all people on our team, okay? Keep that in mind. Paul and Crean Hutchings over $480,000 now, I think. Sarita Cleese, over $100,000. Sean Ali hit over $10,000 a month. George and Marissa Breyer, over $150,000. Bill Winch, over $25,000. These are some of the people who have already made money. Just some of the people. We've got more people who are I got an email from Alex Bender, another one of our great team members this morning, messaged me right when I woke up. He's like, Paul, I got another commission last night. Well, using something that you had shared with me. Thank you, brother. And I was like, you're welcome, man. I'm so glad to hear that, right? So we have people getting commissions all over the place, and we want you to be one of them. If you're not locked arms with us yet, why might you want to decide to go ahead and click that link, fill out the form, and get started today? Well, you got to work with us. And I'm telling you, we are a great group of people. Like, I know I'm like not patting myself on the back, but these people on the panel, whoever invited you to the hangout tonight, we're a different team. We're a team that not only has vision, but we're a team that has heart. And you guys, these shirts that we got a Vision Freedom 100, Pipeline Prosperity Alliance. You know this tree? I'm not going to go into all the stuff that this tree means, but I'll tell you one thing this tree means. It means we have heart. It means we love you. We believe in you. We know you've got greatness within you. We know that when you get around the right people and are humble and coachable, and when you stay humble and coachable, that you can have transformations in your life, that you can be free. And it is our desire to give you the resources, get you around the right people, get you around the right training, so that you can have those breakthroughs that you're destined to have. I believe we're all destined. I know sometimes people are like, why do you use that word destined? Destined. Well, I believe that none of us was sent here to fail. I believe that all of us were sent here with something divine inside of us that it's up to us to bring out. So I do believe that we're all destined for greatness, but it's up to the decisions that we make, and it's up to the people that we get around. So I believe you should make a decision, get started with us tonight for those reasons. And why now, right now, before this night is over, even before we end this hangout, why is it a good idea to click the link, fill out the form, and get started for $17.50? Besides the fact that it's 100% money-back guarantee and you get tons of bonuses. I think if you look over there, there's lots of bonuses. You'll see you can keep all that stuff if you decide this isn't for you. But one final reason to get started now and not wait. Napoleon Hill, on the last page of Think and Grow Rich, says, life is a checkerboard, and the player opposite you is time. If you hesitate before moving, your players will be wiped off the board by time. And so because your clock is ticking and my clock is ticking, not some like marketing clock with like fake scarcity, but our literal life clocks are ticking. How long are we going to live unfulfilled? How long are we going to live uninspired? How long are we going to live not locked arms with the people who believe in us and who are going to stand and fight and support us, right? The clock is ticking, so make a decision. And final little thought here, and then I'm going to send you all on your merry way for tonight. This book that I read, that I'm reading, W. Clement Stone, he says that we should all use what he calls our self-starters. They're words that we should repeat to ourselves. And he gave me this one. He said, do it now. Do it now, do it now, do it now, do it now, do it now. He said you should repeat that 50 times a day because successful people get in the habit of making quick decisions, and they do it now. They don't procrastinate because they know their clock is ticking. They just do it now. So I challenge you, my friend, do it now. Click the link, fill out the form. Whoever invited you will be in touch for your first coaching session to welcome you into the group. We'll all welcome you with open arms when you get inside, I promise you. And my friend, we're going to do great things together. Thanks for being here. Thanks to all of our panelists. I love you guys. We're going to free 100 people. We're going to do it no matter how long it takes. That's it, period. Have a good night, guys. Take care, and bye for now.